Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim says he has spoken with the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia and appreciated their openness to continue negotiations. Malaysia's Chief of Defence Forces yesterday told local media that Mr. Anwar had secured an agreement for a ceasefire, but those reports were removed soon after. US President Donald Trump also planning a call with Thai and Cambodian leaders to rescue the truce Washington helped to broker. Thailand, however, says talks should not begin with a third party, insisting Cambodia must first change its stance and formally request negotiations. Cambodia says it is ready to talk at any time, adding it wants peace and has acted only in self-defense. And for more, Jagruti Dave is covering this story for CNA from Washington, D.C. Now, Jagruti, President Trump says he'll be making a call to stop the fighting. But what do we know about how that might play out?
Well, Donald Trump made this announcement that he was going to be calling both leaders of Thailand and Cambodia at a rally in Pennsylvania on Tuesday night. And he said, who else could say I'm going to make a phone call and stop a war of two very powerful countries? And he said that he's making peace through strength. Now, the last time Donald Trump made this phone call, he levied the threat of high tariffs against both countries. And the Kuala Lumpur Accords, as he dubs them, were formed based on trade deals and, as I say, this threat of tariffs if they didn't stop the war. Now, Donald Trump is a fan of tariffs as a threat, but other experts say that it's not necessarily the most effective negotiating tool. And so this phone call is clearly going to be a test of Donald Trump's strategy of using tariffs as a threat. He might rekindle that particular threat, or he might decide to take another avenue. But really, this is another kind of test of Donald Trump's negotiating strategy with the use of tariffs.
And meanwhile, Thailand has made it clear that it does not want tariffs used as pressure. So how effective is that threat at this point, given Bangkok's position?
Yeah, Thailand's foreign minister has been very adamant that the issue of the conflict with Cambodia and trade negotiations should remain separate. You know, when the threat of tariffs was levied during that ceasefire, tariffs for both countries, Cambodia and Thailand, went down from 36% to 19%. And Thailand's foreign minister has said that, you know, they're not happy necessarily with the 19%, with the worries that it could, you know, rise even further. So they're also preparing, I guess, for the potential of the threat of tariffs to be levied. But on paper, Thailand has a stronger military than Cambodia, so perhaps they're banking on the fact that if there was to be a continuation of this conflict, that they might prevail. But there is, you know, domestically, Thailand's prime minister is going to be facing an election. Snap election has been called next month. So, you know, there are questions as to domestically what happens in Thailand. But I think this issue of tariffs is a really key one. You know, Donald Trump has used tariffs to broker deals between countries in the past, India and Pakistan, for example. But this has really caused a bit of strain between Washington and Delhi. So again, this is a question here about, does Donald Trump use tariffs and how effective are they going to be?
Jagruti, thank you so much for that update. That was Jagruti Dave covering this story for CNA from Washington, D.C.